Good morning, everyone. Yeah, last night I made a lot of videos. Sure did. I touched on a lot of various subjects. A lot I haven't posted yet. They're in my canon, if you will. But I guess what I wanted to touch on this morning was something I was touching on last night about not feeling like a man. You know, I don't. I mean, I do. I mean, obviously, like anatomy wise, and like how I feel like a man. But I mean, like societally, like I've been raised to believe that a man is an earner, a provider, a protector, you know, goes out and works every day, all day, and comes home, sits in a recliner, and watches the fucking Knicks or whatever, and just that was my idea of what a man is growing up. Like, seriously, today's society has changed that view because now a man can provide in many different ways, and it doesn't have to be at the foundry. It didn't. But like, I'm not a good provider. I'm not. The woman I was with before, like I had, like she asked me multiple times to help her with this, that, or the other, and I pretend to know, like I knew what I was talking about, and try to save face as a man, kind of shit. And come to find out, I had no fucking clue what I was talking about, and it would just frustrate and irritate the shit out of her. Rightfully so. Why would you say you know something when you do not? So anyway, these things affect me as a member of the male gender, and pride, I guess, is what it comes down to. Pride. Us males, we walk around with our chest out and we beat on that motherfucker, and that's how we attract the women. And we're supposed to know all this shit and about cars. And let me tell you something, people. I have not driven a vehicle other than her car in since I was 21. I'm 46, so do the math. I drove her car around Tulsa, but interesting story how that began, but I'll share it for another time, save it for another time. And anyway, but like, I'm not if I'm in a vehicle that's going over 80 miles an hour and I'm conscious of it, I'm scared. I have PTSD about it. I mean, I'm nervous, or like I'm not comfortable. If it looks like you're swerving a little while I'm sitting, man, I'm not comfortable. I'm not comfortable. And I try to tell people this shit all the time, and they don't hear me, and they just keep, I got this, and oh my God, it just drives me nuts. But I guess what I'm getting at is, I feel like there's certain man duties, right, that are universal. Like, no matter how society changes, ideology, that kind of thing, socially, whatever, roles reversed, that kind of thing. I believe that there are inherently some things that men need to provide to be men. I mean, that's basically safety, emotional security, shelter, food, these things men have been programmed, and like rightfully so, because you can take it how you want to and be mad at me if you want, but men are actually physically stronger than women. I mean, it's a fact. Not all women, but for the most part, I mean, generally speaking, men are the dominant as far as social certain attributes given to the genders. Men are superior, you know. We're bigger. We are. Well, I don't know if we're meaner, because I've met some Tongan women, man. That, my God, they're mean as fuck. Like, they ain't nice at all, man. And don't disrespect and never disrespect a Tongan woman, a Samoan woman, Hawaiian woman in general, just like native Hawaiian women. Leave them alone. They're very aggressive. But anyway, so like, it is in my opinion, and I could be wrong, it's happened before, that in this unspoken war of the genders, you know, certain things are being used to be played against other parts of the other parts of the genders, you know what I mean? Like, women have learned to psychologically fuck men. Whether you do it intentionally, I don't know if y'all have a conference and y'all come up with like pinpointed fucking charts and shit on how to destroy a man, but you do. I mean, you do. You know, men think logically. Women think emotionally. And a woman assumes, this is my opinion, this isn't scientific fact. In my opinion, a woman assumes that a man is going to think like she thinks emotionally. But a man is looking at the problem like building a brick wall. You know? How to put each brick in its proper segment, and where the mortar goes, and you know, how to fix this problem, like logically. And a man may be slow about it because logic is a process. Emotion is instantaneous. And so a woman will get frustrated with that man because that man is trying to figure out the problem, trying to figure out how to fix it. A woman just wants it done. You know what I mean? She just wants you to have the answer right now. Some cases it works because there are some brilliant men out there, you know, who just snap. I mean, they got the answer like immediately. They're superior in thinking and certain attributes, and kudos to those men. You know what I'm saying? But not all of us are those men. Some of us are slow processors. We're working with acers and shit, you know, like. So women, give your man just a half a fucking second. You know what I mean? Get off his ass. Give him a half a fucking second. I mean, it's not a life or death situation. Fuck, chill the fuck out, man. But no, it ain't the case. That's not how it'll go. And this is off on a weird tangent. I'm gonna get off on a weird tangent here. I'll use this example. Human race wants to leave Earth, right? Like, we want to go to interstellar travel. We want to find another Earth-like planet and settle it and all that shit. Okay, but first off, even if we could move at the speed of light, and we had shields like in Star Trek, you know, and all that shit, it would take so many fucking years, like thousands of years, even at the speed of light, for us to reach the closest possibly inhabitable planet. Like, we're not even sure it's habitable. I mean, we just have data and shit like that, but, and from what I'm learning about NASA, is that shit even real? You know what I mean? But what I'm getting at is, like, if the human race on this planet, this entire planet, like the whole globe, cannot coexist without abusing each other or disrespecting each other, like just killing each other, raping, stealing, and all that shit. Like, we can't trust each other. We can't turn our backs on our neighbor kind of shit. You know what I mean? Like, how in the fuck are we going to get on a spacecraft and exist for generations, for thousands and thousands of years, moving at the speed of light, whatever, on this craft? Because it's human nature to dislike peace and order, so chaos will ensue. You know what I mean? Like, there will be a difference of opinion in how the pea soup is processed out of the fucking bag or whatever. Like, it will turn into a thing. Like, we as a species cannot get along on our own planet. How the fuck are we going to do it on a spacecraft moving, light speed, billions of miles across space, the void of space? And that's not even taking into consideration the dangers of space travel in general. I mean, like, the theory of an object in motion stays in motion kind of shit, right? Like, say, like, at some point somewhere in space, an object exploded, a planet or the sun, something, right? But it sent out little fragments of what it was made of, iron and all these different little things. Even a sand granule sized particle moving at thousands and thousands and thousands of miles per hour through space, and say there's thousands of them, right? Like because it all broke up. I mean, it's not just one piece. It's just like thousands, because and other objects, other sizes and such. But they're all moving at this incredible speed, and they're coming at your craft. We're gonna have to have some kind of plasma shield or something, because when those objects hit the side of that spacecraft, it'll be like a shotgun with buckshot. It will pepper the craft and kill everyone aboard. It's just fact. That is the hostile nature of space travel. I mean, it's, in my opinion, and I know I got off on a tangent. I went from men being whatever and into space travel, but that's what I do. I'm scatterbrained. I'm that guy. But like, in my opinion, if the human race really wants to expand our species into the stars, the cosmos, that kind of thing, what we're going to have to do is build a craft with some kind of AI technology and embryos or DNA components, like sperm and egg or whatever, that can be fertilized and grown in a lab type situation far, far away on an entirely other world. But I believe that's the only way that humanity is ever going to ultimately explore the stars. Star Trek, all that kind of thing is it's great entertainment, but it's nonsense. It gives a great idea of the concept of a utopian type society, where everyone's like-minded and working together to achieve an ultimate goal. But it's at least this stage in humanity, it is a philosophical and an actual fucking impossibility. Like, that can't happen, because our nature as a whole, as a species, is chaos. Everything represents chaos, because chaos creates and Chaos gives birth. Through chaos always comes creation. You know, one way or another, it creates. And life and humans represent the universe like a mirror, and we are creatures of chaos, and our nature will always be chaos. We will never let anything stand. We will never just coexist kind of shit. It's just not who we are. You know, we're tribal. That's why racism exists. People say, oh, white people, oh, black people, oh, the Asian people, what? No. Racism, if you want to get down on it, down to it, is, it's a tribal thing. You know, if you get off into these rainforests, where these tribes of same skin, same ethnic background type people, they're just born in different tribes. They will hunt each other. They will kill each other. They will eat each other. They will, all that shit. So why is it unnatural to think that if you put all these different ethnic groups in one environment, that they're just all going to be copacetic? You know what I mean? They all group up in their own little areas. They all group. I mean, we're tribal. It's who we are. I mean, we're tribal by nature. So yes, racism is a real fucking thing and will be with us probably the entire existence of humanity. I mean, there's just no getting around. It's just who's been racist against who. You know what I mean? And how offended by it are you, kind of shit. You know what I mean? Like, how does it affect you? Because if it doesn't, you often don't think about it. Like the black on black genocide and like the Uganda and shit. Like, it's black on black, so nobody's thinking about it. You know what I mean? And it's so far away, and Fox News isn't there to record every, you know what I mean? Nobody thinks about it. The genocide. When I say genocide, I mean, like, this is just me throwing a number out, but like, I'm gonna say like 1,400 or more people murdered daily. Like, being killed right this second. By children in some cases. I mean, like, it's graphic, it's bad, it's raped and mutilated. I mean, whatever we got going on here in the United States, my little problems, my little depressions, my little whatevers, pale in comparison. The reason the device I'm recording this on has a lithium battery. There are children forced to mine that shit every day. Right now, as we speak, being forced, literally with whips and shit, to provide a component for technology I dearly enjoy and take for granted. You know what I mean? There are actually children out there. And as long as this kind of atrocity, human atrocity, exists, we will never, ever leave our solar system. Not as a physical being. Not as a representation of a humanoid. It won't happen. I mean, it is a philosophical, theological, and in reality, impossibility. Like, it'll never work. One, we don't have the technology. I mean, we don't have the ability to build a craft that could withstand the things that we will encounter on a journey like 1,000 years in space bullshit. We don't have the propulsion. Now, there are people working on like plasma cores and shit like that, but you know, That's generationally a long ways away. But as long as the human, and you know, I read somewhere that the human race is like 20,000, 200,000, some odd something thousand years overdue for extinction. Like we have lived longer. The human species, the humanoid species, has lived longer than any other that we know of species on this planet. Dinosaurs, all that shit. Like we have outlived with our brains and our medicines and our antibiotics and bullshit. So shit like that. We have managed to outlive our planetary predecessors, if you will. So that's an amazing thing. I don't know if that's true. I mean, don't quote me on that shit. I ain't saying that's fact. I'm just saying I could have swore I read that somewhere. But anyway, good morning, everyone. And I didn't show my face because I'm trying not to be a narcissist any longer. Because I do enjoy looking into my own eyes when I talk. I'm very vain, half-assed, disgusting human being, but I love you all. I do. And Gonzo out.